Trust Fintech, a recently listed company and a very interesting industry as well. It's IT, but a specialization in BFSI, so a double niche of sorts. And here's Hemant Chafale, the managing director and CEO of the company, joining us. Mr. Chafale, thank you so much for taking out the time. And, you have a very interesting and varied career progression from engineering to control systems to implementation of systems in various industries. I want to go back to the beginning. How did you and your co-founders decide to start Trust Fintech? What was the thinking behind the mission of the company?
I'm an instrumentation graduate, and I started with Bombay Dyeing, then moved to SR Gujarat, then to Indorama. So Indorama Synthetics was my last job, where we have implemented distributed control system. So it's basically controlling the plant operations and doing some programming across those control systems. My elder brother was in same field and in banking. So I was interested to have something in IT. So he suggested me that, okay, why don't you start in banking, because it's very easy to enter. That time, very few banks were having good systems. And he guided me on that. He was earlier working in BFSI segment only. Then he guided me initially. Subsequently, he also moved to US in 99. So it was a very short time when we could work together. And in that time, the thing started. So the journey started then in banking. And then the customers' requirements and what you can say, your RBI, then compliance authorities' requirement. Automatically, we have updated ourselves continuously. Present state, what we have is the resultant of inputs from so many consultants, banking experts, and domain experts, RBI, everybody.
What is your global footprint like? Because we often do have, a lot of IT companies. Usually the focus is that, okay, how much are they exporting abroad? Because that's essentially, the key customer base. So let's talk about your global footprint and, what countries do you have max exposure to?
Since 2007, we are working with African countries and Asian countries like Sri Lanka and Nepal, apart from India. And we had some assignments from US, but not in exactly in banking. Those were all tech kind of solutions and product developments. But recently, we have a customer in San Francisco and in US. So for them, we are doing customization for one of the credit union. So once that is done, and my elder brother is working in US for almost now 25 years, and he has been there in the banking industry itself. So he is giving a lot of inputs for us. So going forward, our major focus will be US, Canada, and maybe some countries in South America, where the application will require a Spanish conversion. So we are also doing customization for Spanish version. That is on the cards, what we can say, US, basically. US, Canada, and South America.
Your margins have been rising very nicely. You've just been looking at the last couple of years. So what has aided that?
See, actually, the development has happened over a period of time. And now the product is ready. Earlier, we were giving application on-premise license basis. Now we have put it in the SaaS basis. Because of RBI compliances, the banks have shifted their entire focus from on-premise to cloud. So cloud automatically is going to come with your monthly rental. So bank suggested us, why don't you give a software on rental also? So that is how in last 5 years we have slowly moved to software as a service on rental basis. So now the revenue which is coming is mostly 70% of the revenue is coming from the rental. So what happens is like if suppose I ask somebody a license fee, typically we used to get per branch, let's say 2.5 lakh rupees maximum. But now we are able to generate close to 2 lakh rupees on a rental basis. So there's a huge difference between one time and the monthly rental. And banks also find it easy to pay monthly rental.
So is
So
this
there
a
is a shift,
model? No, go ahead.
from license to SaaS on the monthly rental. So the overall margins has increased in rental. Plus, we have now received some orders from US. So the development has already happened. And in US, you have a customization, which will be a second project. Like first is the license sale. What happens in license sale is basically as if whatever software we have, the same is issued a license to use, and we have installed in on AWS. So basically, our entire cost of development has already happened over the last few years. Now it is a matter of just installing it on Amazon. So, and Amazon infrastructure is also provided by the client. So for us, the cost is hardly effort of maximum 1 month of resource effort just to make it compatible with AWS. So the cost has already happened and now the billing is happening. So basically the everything is coming now is giving us a top line.
Hmm. Is this a model that you're seeing, this shift that you said from rental? Is this something that you're seeing now increase across most of your client base?
Yeah, most of the clients now it has increased. And what happens is like rent is something like once you are client, like bank is your client, it is almost for forever. So no bank affords to change the software. Our first customer is still with us. First customer we signed in 99. So we say that we have a 25 years of relationship. So typically, as long as you are giving good service to them, you are providing all requirements of RBI compliance, tax requirements. If everything is you are providing and we are updating continuously on the technology side, so banks are also comfortable with you. And then giving even extra rent, they don't mind because that trust, that relationship is built over a period of years. And that comfort is there for the banks. And with the technology change, with the digitization, with the new upcoming things, for banks also it is very difficult to have IT team. For a smaller banks to have retain the IT team is a big challenge. So when they outsource the entire services to us, they are more comfortable. That we are supposed to give them everything as far as the software support, then their change request, all those things we are taking care. So that's why the banks continue to work with us, although it is always 5 year contract, but it is almost renewed every 5 years.
Okay, so that customer stickiness is there, which is great. Let's talk about some of the key challenges you feel you face today in your business.
See, the challenges are like when we talk we have application which match the or we have more functionality than the tier one solutions. Then people don't believe initially. So what we did, we have now a solutions which are not part of tier one, and we are offering as a complement to tier one. So like solutions like fixed asset management, procurement, GST, TDS, then their payroll, HR. So there are some audit and compliance, then their recovery management, NPA recovery management. There are some of like then the mobile apps, internet banking, some of the things which we developed, which get compatible with any of the tier one solution, and we are giving them a public finance management system. We are giving them as an integration with the tier one solutions. So what has happened now? The people understand that yes, these guys have all entire stack which is required. So initially we had a challenge, but now there is an acceptance. Like we are giving services to like banks like Bank of India, then Bank of Maharashtra. So some of our solutions, Cosmos Bank, Saraswat Bank. So some of our solutions are there integrated with their tier one solution, core banking. So now they have a fair amount of what we can say uh, comfort working with us. And with that, now we are able to reach out to more cooperative as well as NBFCs.
And like you said, they would also want one holistic, solution because they are smaller companies. Okay. Just a more industry perspective from you. CBS is something that is, I mean, I guess you're betting on two things, right? Financials and IT. What makes you positive in general about the Indian and, of course, in your case, global CBS market as well? Because that is your market too.
Yeah. Actually, India, since if you look at 2016 onwards, there's a paradigm shift in entire digitization in India. That shift has more focus towards the fintech and more focus towards like RTGS, you can say, and your UPI, IMPS, QR code based like payment. So payment system has, I will say, a big transformation happened in last almost 7, 8 years. And India is well ahead of global fintech, I'll say. If we talk of US, now we have a client there and we are working for them. We find it that our technology or our delivery in terms of the digitization is far, far ahead of US. So US still don't have RTGS NFT, US still don't have UPI, US still don't have IMPS. Their entire structure is different. And if you say that you can, in India, we can transfer money from one point to another point, any bank in India within couple of seconds. In US, that doesn't happen. Till today, it doesn't happen. So in terms of technology, in terms of entire architecture, we are well ahead of platforms which are predominantly working in US. So basically, that makes us more like our proposition more interesting for US credit union as well as the banks. So that way we will have definitely upper hand when we'll work in US.
I think you've given me a good segue into my next question, and that is how fast the banking industry has been, adapting new technology. And tech is one platform that is constantly being disrupted. Now there is, cloud, big data was there. Now AI is coming up, etc. So how will you ensure that, as a tech company, you're on top of the game with all of these disruptions?
See, cloud is basically nothing but the sort of a installation. We are on premise now on cloud. So there's not much change as far as the cloud part is concerned. But yes, as far as AI ML is concerned, then your NLM, natural language processing, is coming in a very big way. So you may not require people to respond your all queries. Systems will take care of everything. And since we are on the latest technology and we are continuously updating ourselves, we are definitely ready for AI, and our AI based loan origination system is almost ready for release. So it will have a different impact where we have a complete, right from the onboarding of customer to till the sanctioning of loan, you can say, complete automated system which has got integration with your GST, integration with your bank accounts, integration with PAN, integration with Aadhaar. You name all the integration, we have integrations. So the moment you apply for the loan, till you get the sanction for loan, entire workflow is there. And somebody who are responsible to take actions or the decisions, they can simply do it from their mobile. So even the bank manager or anybody, he can approve the loan, he can disapprove the loan, whatever he feels, using any device anywhere in the world. So it is going to be bring in big disruption So now your application to, let's say, your agreement for loan, if somebody says it can be ready within few hours or 1 hour, which is something going to have a big impact. Now we are planning to put it to your automobile dealers, where somebody is reaching the automobile dealer within half an hour, his loan will be sanctioned. 100% automated. The system will generate the agreement. They can digitally also sign the agreement. No need to physically sign the agreement. So to that extent, we have automized the entire process. So, and it has got all AI components. It will take into consideration like previous history of that particular person, as well as the machine learning will take care of the algorithms for the historical data for similar customer, how that pattern has generated. So it will have a more what we can say authentic uh, loan scrutiny rather than any person doing the loan scrutinization.
So
So there
prevent
will be big value,
loaded
yeah. So
banks.
there will be big value for the banks, and because credit appraisal is the biggest challenge. People who are doing credit appraisal, they takes time, and if you are using AI for credit appraisal, machine learning and AI for credit appraisal, then it is definitely going to give them the best results. And this is going to be a generative. Like you add number of cases, automatically your algorithm will more accurate in giving the results.
So just like now, instant groceries, we also have instant loans as well in 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Okay, so we
Yeah,
are
and then
waiting.
you can yeah,
Yeah.
and then you can imagine now people go to bank. See, nobody goes to bank for withdrawal of money. Nobody goes to bank for opening a new account. Everything is online. Only thing was left was that the loan, we have to go to bank for application of loan and sanctioning of loan or maybe some documentation. Now you imagine your application and documentation, everything is online. So there will be a disruption completely, and government of India is coming up with peer-to-peer lending and the ONDC platform, online digital commerce, where this buyer app will be from the for the end customer, and seller app will be from the banks. And imagine an Amazon of loan origination. This is going to happen in next 1 year.
Okay.
So
Very
and
interesting.
we are preparing ourselves on ONDC platform.
Hmm.
Our
Okay.
loan origination is coming up on ONDC platform very shortly.
Okay. Very
This
nice.
is also one of the objective of our IPO.
Okay. All right. Um, you already have some, I mean, this is, of course, I guess you could call this as a new age business of Trust Fintech, right? Separate from your core, your CBS business. And I think this is going to be the one that we're going to be really looking forward to, the more exciting part of the business. Like you said, you're creating an Amazon for, a retail marketplace for loans. And it's going to be very interesting and exciting indeed.
The government has prepared that, and we are going to be a partner to that.
Okay. Understood.
Government has already prepared ONDC platform,
Yes.
and we are using ONDC APIs to deliver the solution to the bank.
Correct.
So we will
Okay.
be basically service provider to the all commercial banks.
Excellent. Okay. You already have some very marquee customers. And obviously there are a lot of bigger players as well. So how would you read into the competition for you and, your plans as well, if you could share with us to grow market share in this core CBS business?
See, as far as the competitor in tier one is concerned, we already have a complementary solution to which is integrated with their solution. So, and we are vendor to almost all the banks now. You name the bank, we are vendor. We are doing some way or the other, some solution, some service with their existing stack. So as far as tier one is concerned, we are not really worried about the tier one competition. And in tier two, we have replaced almost all the vendors in last 2 3 years. So competition wise in India, we are well ahead of competition. As far as the global path is concerned, we are just entering in US now, but the technology stack which we have is well ahead of the present applications which are being used in US. So there will be some resistance because in core banking, the decisions are slow. But that's why what we are doing in the US also, we are going to offer loan orientation system, which is like loan orientation system is a backbone of any bank. Credit is a backbone of any bank. And if we are able to process the credit, if we are able to process the loan, let's say in 2 days or 1 day time, this is something every bank requires on a topmost priority. And since we have AI ML enabled loan orientation system, which is new for US also, you see, India has a lot of stringent norms in terms of credit appraisal. But in US, the credit appraisal is much more lenient. And when we talk of creating an internal scoring, we are talk of assessment of borrower in terms of repayment capacity and in terms of credit worthiness. And when we show them that these are the results, what we can have over a period of time, we have now more than 2 to 3 million data is been analyzed, and we have come up with these algorithms. So then they definitely feel that yes, this is going to be a must solution. So that's why we are finding a good connect in US also, good response for loan origination. So with the loan origination, we'll be entering many banks, and we have decided to put it on the uh, Azure as well as AWS platform, so that the cloud comfort as well as the installation infrastructure comfort is already there for the banks. And then the different level of encryption and all is being taken care by the infrastructure itself. So security part, encryption part is already taken care. So we are getting a good response from US market.
Okay, so you've just recently listed. Could you share with us what the listing experience was like? What has the journey been like? And, has it boosted employee shareholder morale too?
Yeah, journey has been excellent. Like last one year before, I met Mr. Amit Kumar in from MSMEX in one of the Thai conference, and there one of my friend encouraged me that why don't you go for listing. I said we are a small company. Then he encouraged me that okay, this is a separate MSME. Like for SME, there is a different platform for listing. So I was not much aware of uh, all this journey. So Mr. Amit suggested me that why don't you join the cohort program. So I joined his cohort program. During that almost 2 months of online teaching and online learning program, I got through all the nitty-gritties about the how we can start our journey of listing. And then we had a good trust and relationship with Mr. Amit Kumar. So then thereafter, he has suggested me to go with CCV, a merchant banker, and everything like he has connected with to Mr. Kulbhushan Parashar. Kulbhushan Parashar came to our office and he said, "This is a mandate." We said, "Okay, fine, we are okay with it," and everything happened very quickly. Then we had some challenges in name approval because our name has a trust name, and trust is in negative list. So basically, we had some initial challenges, but then the once the name is approved, we had very quick in terms of DRHT filing and RHT filing journey.
So, you just spoke about the new product that you are essentially developing, which will be in partnership with the ONDC. That's one of the reasons why you all did the IPO as well. So, do you foresee any further funding requirements in the next coming years?
Not immediately. Like we have actually sufficient cash flow. And the present plan, what we have, is going to have another 10 products which can be marketed with these present this thing. Our team will also increase and our infrastructure also we are going to build. So next 3 to 4 years, there will not be much requirement as far as the funding is concerned because our margins are good and with the present margins, we'll definitely have a very good positive cash network, you can say.
So, among all of your various products, services, customers, where do you see major opportunities for growth? And how do you plan to, just to summarize, I know you've already spoken about this in the previous answers, but how do you see and what do you see will lead revenue growth in the next, say, 3 to 5 years?
See, basically, in India, if you look at the cooperative banks, what we are more focused right now. But apart from cooperative banks, there are about 7,000 NBFCs, non-banking financial companies. And RBI have mandated all NBFCs to have a core banking in place. So that is another area where the same product with 20% customization, what we are right now doing, can easily fit in. And the present NBFCs, they are using 3, 4 different softwares. One for loan origination, another for loan management, then another for loan servicing, and then some MIS, and then accounting system is different. So right now they are not having any homogeneous system where once we enter transaction at one place, it reflects everywhere. So that right now they don't have. But going forward, when we have system, they can have the complete solution. So NBFC is one area. Second is the loan origination system on ONDC platform. Third is core banking in India. We are already doing for banks. Then the fourth major thing is going to be a US market, where we are going to offer our solution to credit unions. Then other products such as like we are also coming up with UPI switch, then the API aggregator. So all those a UPI switch, API aggregator, these are all basically a per transaction solutions. Like we have now, right now, we are having all APIs with us in our adapter. So we are sourcing APIs from, let's say, NSDL, GST, then your CIBIL. So all APIs we already have. Suppose I am taking API from the source organization, and if I am giving it to bank requires this API for automation. And the billing is done based on the consumptions of API. So here, indirectly, it is a trading of API. But the margins are huge because banks, they don't go directly to the principal because there are a lot of hassles in terms of security, in terms of onboarding. So bank want a single point solution. Okay, you give me PAN API. PAN API is for PAN verification. GST API is for GST verification. Then they require GST returns also. Because if I ask any borrower to give me GST return, he may give me some other report which are not authentic. But here, with using this API, we are able to download directly from the government website. So 100% accuracy is there, number one. Number two, the time required to take the document is negligible. Number three, RBI requires KYC. So if suppose I take somebody's Aadhaar, then I need to have a CKYC. But if I'm taking data from Aadhaar vault from RBI, let's say, we're using OTP. So whatever data I get, that I need not again re-verify. It is already coming from the government database. So basically, this another what we can say API adapter, and then the UPI transaction, as you all know, it's like per transaction there is a 1 rupee, what we can say for switching service provider. So you can imagine how many UPI transactions must be happening a day, and even if you charge 1 rupee, so all these things definitely is going to add, and everything we have right now is, we can say, 75% ready. So what we are doing now, with the addition of this 25% changes, it will be complete new product. So we are creating almost 10 different products which can work with any software. And every product, just as we have CBS as one of our right now revenue source, all 10 will have a similar revenue source. So
Understood.
there can be 10x growth
Yeah.
in next 3 years.
Okay, excellent. We're excited to see that. Just finally on retention and hiring environment, you have roughly around 100 employees in product development. That's 40% of your overall employment base. So just very quickly, sir, if you could tell us what that environment is like, because it's something that's been hurting a lot of IT companies, the attrition rates.
See, we have a team working with us, almost 20 people working us for more than 20 years. And it is now for them, trust is a family. And we have a good relationships, everything, and we are definitely paying them at par with the global industry standards. So what happens is, if you have a good relationship, when your team is working for a long time, and as long as you are being paid at par with global industry standards, people are more comfortable working with us. So that is the very plus point. And coming to the new people joining us, see, what happens is, if you have a strong team of, let's say, 20, 25 people, people will always follow, and people will also think why these guys are working for 25 years with this. So automatically now, if you look at the next uh, team with us, we have more than 40 people who are 10 years plus working with us.
Okay, all right,
So
great.
this is, yeah. So, and out of 300 people, more than 150 people are working with us for more than 6 years.
I think the future definitely does look very interesting, and we look forward to all of the different ways that you will be disrupting the entire financial services market in India, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.